Our son is set to marry that smirking whore from Highgarden. Well, we're back here on the Skimbo Lounge. Rory, can I get a Yas Queen?
No.
I had a feeling you would say that, so let the record reflect that Rory is not a feminist and he hates women.
Yep. This week is I'm not woke, I guess. I'm not woke this week.
It was supposed to be woke week, too.
I'm sleepy.
Woke Rory.
Is that the opposite? Is there a bunch of white supremacists out there calling themselves sleepies? I'm not woke at all. I'm sleepy.
Stay sleepy.
And lazed.
No, it's Sleepy Joe, and that's a bad thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Oh, okay, right.
So they definitely wouldn't align themselves with that. That would be a cuck move.
Yeah, see, there you go.
To call yourself the same thing you call King Cuck.
What a weird world of cognitive dissonance.
Isn't it great?
Doesn't it sound fun?
I spent an inordinate amount of time today while I was scanning files. I was just looking in this place called Rational Wiki, and it's basically like a compendium of anybody that you kind of need to know about who's one of these internet cretins, like Mike Cernovich and
that sounds like tons of
Laura
fun.
Loomer and all those people. Ben Shapiro.
I don't know who Laura Loomer is. When you say Ben Shapiro, I've got a couple of guesses.
Jordan Peterson.
Okay, super. Just a real great group of. You imagine a bonfire with all of them.
Oh my God, the so-called intellectual dark web.
You'd just be a bunch of people just waiting to get a word in edgewise. Just.
Hang on, you gotta clean your room.
They would
Jordan Peterson, shut up about cleaning your room.
I'm trying to talk about fiscal responsibility.
Consider the lobster. You are a drug addict. Stop talking.
It would either end up with them killing each other or all of them would just end up fucking.
I would like to know, because they're all tight with Rogan. A, they're all Rogan guests. B, he's technically considered one of the, like...
Throw Joe Rogan in a room with him.
I'm just saying, man, they run their mouths an awful lot about how stupid it is that rich people would get together and worship Moloch, the owl god. Bohemian Grove is stupid.
Yeah.
I bet they're doing their own, and it's not even that cool. They don't even dress up. They just get drunk and watch MMA and blow each other.
I'd be like, that's not like a dangerous stance to take. Look, oh, what a fucking revolutionary sitting there talking about how praying to owl gods is weird. Oh, can you believe this fucking guy, the things he's saying over here?
Spirit cooking is fucking stupid, and I'm an intellect for knowing that.
Yeah, like... Who are you trying to impress with that? Oh, they're just saying the things that all of us are afraid to say. No,
most of the time,
not at all.
They're saying complete fucking nonsense. Like, have you ever really listened to Jordan Peterson speak?
I have listened to Jordan Peterson speak on a couple of occasions, and I've listened to him in situations in which the audience laughed him out of the fucking room, and in situations where they applauded the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So I've listened to both sides of Jordan Peterson, and the problem that I come to on the end is that he's talking about all this stuff that's supposed to make you a better person and moral responsibility. And the second that he's done that, you've really tied your character to the things that you're saying. You know, it's the kind of thing where you can't be like, committing adultery is wrong. And then you go and commit adultery. You're going to get called a hypocritical piece of shit. So for the guy who's like, you need to clean your room and you need to, stand up straight and all these simple things about leading a really good life, to then go and have such a bad drug addiction that he decided, instead of doing rehab because he thought it was too hard. Now remember, this is the guy who's telling you to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. He went to another country and put himself in a medically induced coma so that he could just ride out the whole fucking withdrawal stage of this addiction. I can't remember what it was he was addicted to.
Benzodiazepine.
Yeah, benzos.
Yep.
So if you're going to do that, if on the one hand you're going to tell people to take responsibility for themselves, and then on the other hand you're going to do shit like that, I don't really give a fuck what you have to say anymore.
No,
that's how I feel about him.
I'm not
Jordan
sure
Peterson
I ever gave a fuck what he had to say. I would hear him out. I'm like, all right, well, like any other dangerous idiot, you kind of got to know where they're coming from. So I looked for situations where he was in friendly territory and being treated as a respected academic. I watched some of his lectures. Those were the ones that I just couldn't get past, because he says outlandish shit like, people will tell you that dragons aren't real, and you guys, they're real, because a dragon is a predator, and a predator exists in our mind. And consider the lobster. There's a hierarchy in lobsters, so why can't men dominate each other like lobsters dominate weaker lobsters? I'm like, none of that meant anything.
The weird thing about Jordan Peterson is he's kind of like any other, I'm not going to call him a cult, but sort of those kind of fallings where it becomes easy to draw people in when you start off really reasonable. What you need to stand up straight. You need to pick up your room. Like, just little simple things like that are going to give you a better feeling about your self-worth. Okay, Jordan Peterson, I can agree with that. Like, having your shit kind of together a little bit, and
other people have said
not
that.
living like a slob, spill some shit on your clothes, clean it or throw them out, don't just be a slob. Take baths and showers and shit, whichever you like. That stuff doesn't, that stuff's fine. And then he'll just get like from there into just being like, there's only 2 genders and there's only this and that. And there's only,
you can't compel me to call anyone anything I don't like.
Yeah.
Trans people aren't real.
Yeah. And you just sit there and go, what does it fucking matter? Like, why does it bother you so much what these people do that you feel you need to dictate truth for them? That's what bothers me. There's some weird fuckers out on the internet. You can go online and find people who again, it's that fucking joke meme that's out there, like, I identify as an Apache helicopter or an attack helicopter. It's something like that. And they're doing it to make fun of people like, well, I identify as a cat, or I identify as this or that. And whether that argument downplays people in actual trans communities who are, who identify with a different gender. And that's a whole discussion we really don't need to get into on the Skimbo Lounge. But
no, now that's where we disagree. I think this is the only podcast that can tackle a sensitive issue like that and do so with respect and ignominy.
I'm trying. Ignominy.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
You email us and tell us. Yeah. We're not looking it up.
Yeah, we're waiting for that first email from somebody. Hey, I just wanted to say that I really hated what you guys... I'm just waiting for the first piece of hate mail, actually, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I would welcome that.
I'm not even looking for the first person. You guys are doing a great job, which we appreciate. But I'm just waiting for the first person to come out and be like, you guys are like the vocal form of cancer. You're so grating, and I hate you. Why don't you both die in a fire?
I'm just waiting for the day a Jordan Peterson guy writes in and is like, look, my hero failed me. He's horribly addicted to benzos. And at first I thought you guys were being a little hard on him, but I feel abandoned and I need a new god. And I've decided it's the guys on the Skimbo Lounge. Can you tell me more about how you were going to do a skit about Jabba the Hutt's barge being like Jeffrey Epstein's plane and how he was sex trafficking Ewoks?
Like, is this like some kind of Rule 34 shit? Because
No, then we become these guys and we start making the money because that's what you do.
Oh, you're talking again. This is from many episodes ago now, where you're talking about.
I'm not referencing a previous episode.
You are. You talked about this
not
before,
consciously,
about leaning into the skid and becoming like an alt-right podcast, so that we can take advantage of alt-righters who think we're being serious.
Yeah, or just become legit alt-right.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I've already come up with a character. His name is alt-right Matthew McConaughey. You ready?
Yeah, okay.
alt-right.
I knew it was going to be that, and I hate you for it. You do that, and I'll be Eurotrash Rory.
Yeah. I like feminist Rory versus white power McConaughey.
Oh, jeez.
That's a good one. But you have to be sincere about it. Play it straight, Don't do a Robin Williams version of a feminist.
I don't even know what that is. Ho,
ho. Ho, ho. Women should be able to vote. Ho, ho. Reproductive rights. Oh, oh.
Women's suffrage.
Oh, there. Sex workers should unionize. Oh.
Is this enough? Is that enough specific topic lingo?
Do you guys want to hear me do Eddie Murphy as a feminist now? We shan't.
I do. I don't know, man. But anyways, back to these crazy alt-right people. It's like, we can. Put a pin in it if you want. I guess.
No, I was being coy.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
You get behind a lot of them. And again, I did the same thing with Ben Shapiro back in the day, and I listened to a lot of that stuff. And the thing that's funny about him is you sit there and the first time you listen to him, you go, holy shit, he destroyed that person. And then you go back and you realize like, oh, the stuff he's talking about is it's number spewing in a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this one specific situation that refutes what you're talking about, which sounds very convincing at time, but then he's just kind of a hypocrite. And also in the sense that a lot of the people that he debates are not prepared to debate someone like him, that he makes a living going around and doing this. He's been well educated and he's prepped very, very hard. And these people, they can go and prep, but it's like putting, they're not putting some, what's his name? The bald guy.
James Carville?
Yeah. They're not putting him up against him.
That would be interesting. I can't believe that hasn't happened, actually, now that I think about it.
Shapiro versus Carville?
Who you got in Shapiro versus Carville?
Carville.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro's too emotional.
Ben Shapiro destroyed his credibility a couple of months ago, I think. It might have been earlier than that too, but it might have been longer.
He's been steadily.
Well, he was being interviewed by a conservative gentleman, well known in British public. I can't remember what his name is, but he's like a very well known British conservative.
This was the TV interview you're talking about.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro kind of attacks him. And he's just like, you don't, like as if he was a liberal. And the guy was like laughing in his face. He's like, I don't think you did your research on me, man. He was basically trying to speak to the alternative of whatever Ben Shapiro's belief was and giving an interesting, well, what about this thought? So that Ben Shapiro.
Oh, you mean an interview?
Yeah, so that Ben Shapiro could knock that shit out of the park. And he just took it so fucking personally and just destroyed himself. You can find it was a BBC. It's all over YouTube.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
I don't have any specific points from it, so I kind of sound like a dumbass. But it's he makes himself look like such a dipshit.
Well, that's the problem. Is so many people will be like, "What an effective debater." Even me, like you said, the first couple times I was like, "Shit, this guy's." I mean, his politics suck, but he crushes at debate.
Yeah, because he's a good debater.
And then you really pick him apart, and you're like, no, it's mostly just like the Gish Gallop, where he just talks over everyone.
Yeah.
Same thing Alex Jones does.
Yeah.
He just gets that mic and he rides it straight to hell.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
get a word in edgewise.
You win when the whole point is just you talking.
You win by default. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So it's very, very easy. It looks like when you have a lot to say and you say it confidently, it makes people feel like what you're saying is correct and accurate. And so when the other person tries to pipe up and they don't have that same kind of, well, I don't know, and just, you're absolutely wrong. The thing you got to understand is this. And he hits you with 3 fucking what sound like hard point facts. You're going to sit there and go, well, fuck me, dude. Doesn't mean that the other side doesn't have something that's better than that. It's just that asshole doesn't know what the proper rebuttal is.
Yeah. Well, I know what the proper rebuttal is, Rory. I got something for you.
Is it farting? Is it pasta farts?
No, I can see why you thought I farted because my thigh was bonded to the vinyl on this seat.
Oh, okay.
It's very hot in here.
Yeah.
I see why you mistook that.
It's toasty. It's a little warm.
For a fart. No, but I have an idea I want to pitch you. I'm going to Shark Tank you right now, okay?
I hate it already.
Okay, good. I
feel like that's where you start on Shark Tank. Everyone's supposed to really dislike it.
That's where we need this idea.
Because that guy comes in, he's like, what if you got to take a crap in the middle of a subway, but there's no toilet around? And he pulls this thing up over his body. I'm shitting right now. And they're like, oh my God.
Call it bucket pants.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the portable potty. And then I just pull this thing down and it sits in this bag. And look, I put it right in this thing. So you carry a toilet with you everywhere you go, sir? Uh-huh. You expect people to buy that? Yeah. Here's $500,000.
You invented pants for shitting in? That's right, sir.
What about diapers?
We already had those. They're called pants.
If these things were ever become popular and they were to be everywhere, everyone would know what you're doing in them, and it would kind of defeat the purpose. You would get shamed everywhere. What happens when the Jackass crew comes along and starts side-kicking you while a turd's halfway out of your body?
Or like poking.
I'm Steve-O, and this is the portable potty push, and he just runs up.
He just jabs a couple holes in it.
Dude, there's all kinds of shit. The online community would have had a field day with a thing like that. But go on.
What, potty pants?
Yeah, with potty pants. My God. There's so many different versions of them.
No, my idea is 10 times more sophisticated, and I think you'll see that.
You tell me that one, and I'll tell you the most disgusting idea I had ever heard of.
Okay.
On one of these.
All right, yeah, well, Shark Tank.
I think I made.
The guys on the lounge are Shark Tanking right now. We're going to call it Shark Tank.
Shark Tank?
Yeah.
I don't want to call the episode Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. No, this segment is called Shark Tank.
Okay, good. Great. You're going to call the episode Shark Tank now, aren't
It's
you?
a distinct possibility.
Hope we come up with something better later.
You better hope you say something clever in the next half an hour. So anyway, here's my idea. I got an idea for a reality show, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to feature people like Ben Shapiro, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, the Trump sons. I mean, you can do this. You can get anyone you want, right? Just any one of these usual suspect dickheads. These alt-right or Republican, because they are really kind of two distinct things at this point. You're neoconservative, and then you're alt-right guy. I say mix and match.
Sure.
They want a lot of the same things, right?
Yeah, I think.
What's 12 of one? What's a dozen of the other?
Well, it's the level of vitriol, I think, that really is what separates them more than anything. I think policy doesn't separate
How
them too
overt
much.
they are about their white nationalism
Yeah.
in most cases.
Yeah. I'm not saying that all Republicans are white nationalists. I'm saying that a lot of Republicans are white nationalists.
I'm just saying that if it was depicted as a Venn diagram, there would be significant overlap in the butt crack area. But at any rate,
not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Get out there and see the world, people.
We're going to get the hottest Republican celebrities we can. We're going to put them in one place, and it's going to be called Fox News House. And they all think they're there, competing in challenges to decide who gets to execute Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And we set the house on fire.
But secretly, we board them up inside of the house, like the Roman gladiatorial arenas, and we set it on fire.
Yeah.
I'm asking for $1.5 million to build Fox News House. I'm looking for an investment from the Sharks.
My God.
I also need advertising money, and I need some network connections.
Well, okay, you know what would happen, right? What would end up happening is they would go, I love the idea. It's fantastic, but it doesn't make me any money. So I have to say no.
That's false. The advertising alone.
It's going to be a no from me, dog.
Randy Jackson on Shark Tank.
Yeah. How are you?
I wish you had, sung your proposal, man.
It'd be so much better.
There was no heart in this.
What do you think, Mariah Carey? Just these people on Shark Tank. I just have good pitch. I'm a bad person.
She's a really bad person. But that's a story for another day.
But so I feel like they would all look at you. You can't really do advertisement because then they're going to know what happens. And,
you film all of this. It's not live. You film the whole season.
And then you do ads for
it. And then
afterwards.
you take it to Pepsi and go, you want to sponsor this bad boy?
So what is it? Is it like $500,000 to build the house and then $1 million to do advertisement? And to pay the idiots to get there? Because that money's coming back to me because we're taking all of the money we give to them back. We're going to give you $150,000 cash to be in this show Fox House, Mr. Giuliani. Oh, wow.
He'd probably win. I mean, that guy went toe-to-toe with the mafia, and now he's
he comes out and he's actually Terminator and his whole body's because he doesn't, all the skin sloughs off him. We're just like, oh my God, Rudy Giuliani was a Terminator this whole time.
I mean, it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. If you really look at Rudy Giuliani, his skin doesn't look like it's on right.
That's fair.
So, not to further the lizard people conspiracy theory.
But hey, think about it. One day you're going to see him do that thing that lizards do with this.
It's called the Vril conspiracy. Thank you very much. Yeah, so what the fuck? You're getting bogged down in logistics. Fox News House, you in or you out?
I mean, I'd absolutely be in if I had $1.5 million. Are you kidding?
Okay.
Lure a bunch of shitty assholes into a
Just
house
think
fire?
of Ted Cruz begging for his life.
Is that too cruel of us? I don't think so.
They were all going there to murder Ruth, because we tell them, you get to strangle Ruth Bader Ginsburg to death with your bare hands.
That's true.
No ligatures, no chains. You can't smother her with a pillow. You got to watch the lights leave her eyes. Ted Cruz has not made it through that entire sentence without fucking coming in his pants.
This just reminds me so much of when I was banned from the politics subreddit for saying that I wanted someone to die in a fire, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Chris Christie, but not quite Chris Christie. It was somebody who flip-flopped on Trump really hard, and I said he should die in a fire, and they banned me instantly.
Great.
But we can get away with it because no one's banning us from the Skimbo Lounge.
Now, interesting you bring up Chris Christie.
Oh, geez. Do you have something Chris Christie related?
No, but now you've got me thinking about him again because he's just so funny because he's just so gross. He deserves a lot of ire for being a pig person.
Hot take. A lot of politicians are gross.
Well,
That's why I hate AOC so much because she's pretty good looking.
Oh my God! You know what's ridiculous?
That's why they hate her.
Is when
it's better politics.
When these alt-right guys try to fucking say that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not super fucking hot. Like my cousin, who is a 400-pound truck driver.
He's just over there looking at White Power Barbie is why.
He shares memes of AOC that have been doctored so her teeth are even bigger and it's her laughing so she looks horribly horsey and unattractive.
Yeah.
You've seen her, right?
Yeah, I'd be where does that come from anyways though? I never understood how you could hate someone that much. Don't get me wrong. I rather, to get political, dislike one Donald Trump.
But you're super attracted to him.
But I'm super attracted. I'm just into spray tans and, dudes who look like they might be wearing a corset. All kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, look at those cankles. Look at those.
Think about that guy naked.
I bet he's got those ankles that from years of wearing tight socks just have no hair on them. Just all pale.
Dolphin smooth,
I'd like to think that he sprays those with the spray tan as well. Because he doesn't get the sides of his face. I'd like to hope he gets the ankles. That's where it's all going, face and ankles.
But, don't you think people would have more respect for him if he was just bald and sunburned?
Yeah.
You know?
If he just didn't do the comb over and just let himself be his strange pale self and he wasn't this weird orange Cheeto-y looking dude.
What the fuck? We should have elected a literal clown. That would have been delightful.
But I never understood. Again, I don't see a whole hell of a lot of people. And again, he's the president. You see, I saw a lot of shitty things done with Obama's likeness.
Oh, boy.
And I saw a lot of shitty things done with Clinton's likeness. And you see, don't get me wrong, fucking other countries are burning effigies of George Bush, so some bad shit went. He got treated like a dunce too. But again, these points of it being like I never really understood. You want to make a caricature of somebody, that's one thing, but like, you know, turning somebody into a snaggletooth horse face like monster because you don't like their politics is a.
But really... you're just denying the obvious, which is she's super fucking attractive. That would be like me saying Tomi Lahren's politics suck, so that makes her ugly. She's unfortunately not ugly. That's the sad thing is these women on the fucking right, and especially the far right, some of them are just destroyer attractive. So you get guys simping for them, and this is how we get Unite the Right marches.
This is a weird tangent, but go with me here. So Tomi Lahren, have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons when Homer buy the farm and the soil's no good, so they spread radioactive material all over it, and they turn these hybrid tobacco plants where
this tastes like grandma.
Yeah, but you can't get enough of it. I have a feeling that if you were to like chop Tomi Lahren's arm off, it'd be like just the same similar substance on the inside. Like she's just all like this grimy black. Outside she's very beautiful, but when you cut that shit open, she's just like mealworms.
Are you saying philosophically? Because something tells me if you cut the real Tomi Lahren open, it's pretty great too, like the outside.
Skinny guts.
She probably has pretty guts.
I don't know about that.
That or she's full of cotton candy.
She's full of facial reconstructive surgeries, from what I hear.
What?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
She's like 25.
Uh-huh.
She already had facial reconstructive
well, I don't mean like
surgery.
What would you call it? Like nose job and fucking little things done.
Little touch-ups here and there.
That's what I heard anyways. Could be wrong.
Who'd you hear this from? The rest of the fucking sewing
heard
circle?
From the internet.
Oh, yeah?
Internet of Things.
4chan?
Yeah, look it up.
8chan?
Yeah, go on. 8kun. Don't go to these sites,
They call him 8kun Rory, and he's telling you to go?
Set up, a VPN.
That's right. The Skimbo Lounge is sponsored by Fuck VPN. Use the code Skimbo to get a month free. You can browse anything. 8kun. You can do Turkish Netflix.
And all the
they
sites
show
that
real beheadings on that.
Lead you to.
Yeah. So what do you guys got to lose?
The darkest parts of the internet. I promise.
So see yourself a fabled red room with our Skimbo VPN.
Yeah.
Put your social security number and credit card information into the website we provided.
This is going to be one of those things where like one of our listeners actually does it and gets themselves into like the worst chat room they could ever find, and someone's just going to post their IP address and they're going to go, "Oh shit." And that's when the really scary stuff happens. Because your IP address will let someone find your address.
Does that happen to you out there? Why don't you let us know?
Yeah, let us know. Send us an email. Well, I remember the time I accidentally found myself into an execution video, and 3 days later, I got a weird package with a foot in it. Isn't the internet funny?
I don't know, Rory. Should we start a Skimbo Lounge Red Room, maybe?
No.
And do it on Twitch?
I'm even a joke about it.
You imagine we're just doing a Red Room on Twitch and just they don't do anything about it?
I'm sure they would.
Listen,
he has 30,000 people watching. That's a lot of money.
You guys got to quit dismembering homeless people on your Twitch.
We're going to give them advertisements.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, you got to be a really attractive girl to make money on Twitch now.
No, we're going to do the chatterbait and just stand there and stare at the screen. You want to see a nipple? Give me $50, baby.
Is that a thing on Twitch, chatterbait?
No. I'm talking about the literal site chatterbait.
Oh.
Yeah. Saying instead of going to Twitch, we're going to go the opposite route and start doing porn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should have been doing that first.
Yeah. And just egregious amounts, though, for nothing. You want to see the stain on my underwear there, sweetie? $120.
I worked real hard on this one for you.
Yep. It's all just going to be really lonely dudes wearing underwear. I mean, stereotypical, like the white, underwear, nothing else. Maybe socks, and if so, tube socks. Just sitting in front of a creepy screen, staring at us, possibly with a finger in their butt.
Hey, his crypto's green, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever we're getting paid in.
They all pay cash. Oh, we're getting paid straight cash.
I like it.
Yeah, they're going to send it to us. Via butt too. I don't know.
You know me, I'm Debbie Does Anything, so I got a long and sordid history here on the comedy podcast.
It's a classic.
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, too.
What, entering porn?
I'm always considering that. I'm just not attractive enough.
Oh, everybody's attractive to somebody.
Yeah, I don't like that, though. I want to be attractive to everybody.
There's a key for every car buddy out there, you know?
Yeah, but we're not going for this fucking lowest common
Sock
denominator
for every
horseshit.
foot. What else we got? What other analogies
Pot,
are there?
cover for every pot.
Yeah, I guess. If you want to go with the easy one. Lid, I would have said.
I don't know.
Douchebag.
Ass for every G-string, Rory. It's
much better.
This is
Thank
a
you.
poor use of our time.
That's great.
We need to strategize about how I'm going to get more attractive.
You could do what Tommy Lahren did and get facial reconstructive surgery.
I was about to say, let's start a Patreon. I mean, we have one technically. If you guys did,
Then you get $40,000 for facial reconstructive surgery.
I'll do it.
No.
Yes, if people give us $40,000 on Patreon, I will use half of that money to get a fucking bootleg chin implant.
I'm half Skimbo Lounge. I'm going to take the other half and just spend it on myself, embezzle it. I'm telling you right now, if you donate money for this, I'm embezzling half of it.
Well, the problem is I have access to the Patreon and you don't.
Oh.
So I'm going to have full control of that money. And
Great.
the implant I'm going to get for you with the remaining $20,000 is going to be great.
Is it a third ball? Because if it's not a third ball, I'm not in.
Top of the line ass cheek implants.
I'm going to just get some Chechens to come and strong arm you for the rest of the money.
How?
Oh,
Wait, how are you going to get... Do you know Chechens?
Mr. College, Skimbo Lounge, yes, very good. Give me the money! And then they just beat the shit out of it. You get Jason Statham in here. He's like, how much? I'll give him half. So he gets 10 G's easy just for beating you up.
Wait. You think Jason Statham is going to come down on high from Hollywood
Yeah, for 10 G's?
roll anyone for $10,000?
He'll come in to do some of his fake movie.
He's got Hobbs and
stunts on
Shaw
you.
money.
Yeah. 10 G's easy, though. Coming and scaring you. It's perfect.
I beg to differ. The logistics of that, you are better off with your Chechens, my friend.
Watch me.
You're better off
I'm getting
going to a
both.
Comic-Con and getting
Listen,
Klingons.
here's what's happening. I'm giving him 10 G's. I'm giving the Chechens 5. I'm taking 5 for myself. At this point, it's just peace of mind, okay? It's not even about the money at that point. I'm just sending a message.
If you
to
offer Chechens
both of your kneecaps.
$5,000 to shake someone down, if you even offer one Chechen
And I just go, he's not
$5,000,
going to give you the money right away, but just rough him up. And then once he does, just rough him up a little more, and then you just head on out.
I think they're just going to beat you up and take the full amount and not loop Jason Statham in.
Well, what they
They're
would do
Chechens,
is they would,
man. They don't play by the rules.
well, they would take the money from you and just not give it to me, and they just fuck off. And
Yeah,
that's
but-
fine. Again, I'm not even.
Well, the minute
That's
you
money.
brought this up to them and didn't have money to give them immediately, they're going to knife you.
Oh no! See, I'm going to give them a little bit of a down payment. Obviously,
Where are you going to get $10,000 cash to pay a Chechen?
I'm going to sign up some 401ks.
No.
I'm going to cash that money in.
In this economy?
It's worth it.
No.
I mean, don't be wrong. They're going to hit me up front, and then they're going to hit me on the taxes on the back end. But I think it's worth it.
You're spending money to cost me money, and I
Yes.
respect that move. I
Yes.
really do.
Yeah.
So
you get it. You get it, though, right? You get it.
I understand the instinct to ruin your own life just to make someone else's worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's it.
I'm just saying, be smart about this. You don't want to use a Chechen your first time.
I'll probably buy. I mean, I would hire one Chechen and then Jason Statham. And if anything goes wrong,
Can I
I'll just shoot him
suggest-
with a gun. The Skimbo Lounge gun.
Rory, can I give you one piece of advice?
What?
Below the knee so it's not attempted murder.
I was gonna say. I thought the one piece of advice was don't use the Skimbo Lounge gun because it jams.
Do we have a gun?
The branded Skimbo Lounge gun.
Oh, the Skimbo gun?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
The prototype? Ready?
No, it's there. Jams a lot. It's mostly loose macaroni and painter's glue.
You just fire it and it's like, feminism is gay. And it falls apart in your hand.
Why is that what the fucking Skimbo Lounge gun says? Jeez.
They're like, well, they did want us to program it with like ironic racism, and this was like the closest we could get.
Yeah, we didn't really want to do the phrases. How did they? This gun's mostly macaroni. He said. How did that? The logistics of that are mind-boggling now.
Actually, a ravioli gun would be pretty cool. I mean, that's
Does
one of the dumber things you could think of, but
Does it shoot ravioli into my mouth,
no.
or is it made of ravioli?
It's like Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun.
How do I know when the trigger's squeezed? It's so soft and squishy.
I don't know, Rory.
Talking about killing you with Chechens. I'm sorry, roughing you up. Let's be honest. They'd probably take it too far.
Yeah, no one's making it out of the Chechen scenario alive.
Well, it's
But-
easier for them to just shoot you from a distance.
Well, I was going to suggest you use Yakuza.
Ooh, but
They're
see,
extremely bound by a code of honor. You get a freelance Yakuza guy. I don't know if they're just called Yakuza.
I feel like you got to pay him specifically, though. You got to pay him right up front.
Yeah, you have to you have to give him a gift up front.
Some kind of thing.
You have to give him a stereo or something.
Is that? Yeah, that's hiring Yakuza 101.
Yeah.
I've given you this gift of a stereo.
As a sign of good faith between two parties.
He's like, whatever, man. That's weird. All right, I'm gonna go get
Is
your
this
money
a
from this guy.
Bose? And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
Is that a problem?
Wow, thank you.
You really spared no expense.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cut this guy's foot off and mail it to you.
No.
Sorry, different guy.
No. Just getting $20,000 from him because he's getting bodily implants with $40,000 that we've bilked from various listeners of our podcast. Is everyone following along?
Are you guys proud of me that when I did the Japanese guy, I didn't even try to do an ironic voice and get away with it?
For a very brief second when you were going lower, I was like,
yep.
No.
Nope. See, I just went down a little bit and I did it a little tasteful. This is what representation looks like, Rory. Take a good look.
Americans,
No, he was Japanese. I'm just not an asshole.
No, I'm saying they can have English. They can sound American with speaking English.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't be.
Well, that's true.
Don't be so regressive, is what I'm saying.
But there can't be white Yakuza because we had that, and that was Jared Leto, and that was a very bad movie.
Yeah, he fucked it all up. Yeah. I wonder what he did for his I'm a method actor. I traveled back in time.
He probably did racist Japanese voice everywhere he went. He went to Hibachi Grill.
Like, we're not going to make this. That's when all of his lines were cut from the film. If you haven't seen this film, it's somewhere on Netflix, I think. What's it called? It's not The Last Samurai.
I don't know. Jared Leto can go fuck himself.com.
It's like The Order or the Family or something like that. It's like some kind of thing like that, but it's Jared Leto. Just type in Jared Leto to search and you can find this film, guys. Do it. You won't. You won't waste the 2 or 2.5 hours that this film is.
You guys won't even pony up the goddamn $40,000 that it would cost for me to get good plastic surgery.
Yeah, those butt implants aren't going to be cheap.
Here's the thing.
I'm just going to tell you I'm getting butt implants, so eventually you'll just willingly give me the money. I won't have to hire the Yakuza at all.
Well, but here's the thing, though, with the implants and the porn and all this other stuff.
Oh,
I think people see it as losing money, like throwing away money for me to get the surgeries.
No, it's an investment.
Consider it an investment in the Skimbo Lounge. Yeah, because you're going to make money. You can invest in me and all of the hot fucking that I do on camera. You can make money off of that.
Oh, right, because of this is all for the goal so that you become a camera whore.
Yeah, I'll tattoo your company or business's name on my body like I'm wearing a fire suit in NASCAR.
I'll scream it every time I orgasm. Nokia! Are they still a thing?
Oh, dang, hummus! There's a throwback for you.
Yeah.
When we were briefly followed by Buffalo-based hummus company, Oh Dang Hummus. Oh Dang Hummus. It doesn't say dang unless it's Oh Dang.
Ooh.
They can have that one for free.
Look at that.
Please come back.
Someone's going to...
hummus.
Your sponsorship only needed to follow us, and they're like, we can't have this kind of... We can't have this kind of shade thrown our way.
Not this guy who's talking about getting surgery so that he can fuck on film. No.
Yeah.
We also don't make porn on film anymore. I don't know what this guy is.
We stopped doing that a long time ago.
He keeps talking about some idea called Vampire Tricked in Steam Room. I don't get it. That is one of the best. I got to plug What We Do in the Shadows again because friend of the pod, Tyler, listened to it on my recommendation.
Oh, he loves it.
And he's seen the light. And there's a great episode where they're throwing an orgy and Matt Berry's character becomes obsessed with all these pornos that he shot since the inception of filmmaking.
Oh.
He's like, when filmmaking was invented, 3 days later they invented porn. And he's just since the dawn of time been in all these different pornos, and one of them is called Vampire Tricked in Steam Room. The thing is, I'm sitting there in thick steam, and I think it's a bunch of women. But when the steam clears, they're chaps. His wife is like, I understand. I think it's stupid. He goes, I'm not sure you really get the subtlety of it. So I'd very much like to make my own version of that. That'd be fun. That'd be dope.
Yep. There you go.
Podcaster tricked in steam room.
Oh, you're chaps. You have to say chaps.
They're chaps.
Oh, goodness.
It's fucking really hot in this room, I got to tell you.
For it being September, I was actually pretty surprised about how warm it was today. Let's talk about the weather a little bit, yeah?
Oh, sure. Warm today, warm yesterday.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I think it's just global warming. We're just hitting a bunch of those records again. I'm sorry, climate change. Which one is correct now? I don't... There's so many different terms. It's getting hotter.
Let me tell you something.
That's what it's going to come down to.
If we're too busy quibbling about whether it's appropriate to say climate change or global warming...
We're fucked.
We've got bigger problems.
Oh, we're fucked. We're fucked already. It's the kind of thing where it's like I look at the people who are kids now and I go, oh, you better focus in science class, Billy, because you're going to have to save the world.
You're never going to get to go ice skating at this rate.
If you absolutely destabilize our culture as it is, like everything that it is now, we might be able to stop global warming.
I'm optimistic because they're all on the TikTok and they're all kind of like, I think anarchy is kind of a fetish for losers, but
TikTok is just Chinese spyware. They're not doing us any favors on TikTok.
Well, TikTok is the technology, but the things that are happening on it are beautiful. We just have children that don't give a fuck about anything. They just dance and make millions of dollars. Those are the people that should be making policy in this country. Not these fucking boomers who...
If there's anybody I want driving policy in America, it's a 14-year-old with $1.5 million. That kid's going to be responsible.
So you get it.
Didn't you see Macaulay Culkin when he was a kid? Didn't you want President Macaulay Culkin? Because that's his full name now.
McCulkin?
Yep.
No, they're going to bring water back to the San Fernando Valley. Like, come on. They're going to need it.
They're going to fix Flint. All you got to do is that guy, he turned that one valve. Just turn it back the other way. Solved. That's all you got to do. It's just that easy. I solved the problem.
Oh, man. You've been watching these wildfires in California and Oregon, too?
Yeah. Well, I saw a breakdown of like the gender reveal amount versus like how much is like lightning storms burned down.
Yep.
Lightning storms burned down like 75-80% of this year.
No, this idea that the gender reveal party caused all this destruction is
not necessarily true.
It didn't help.
It's a small sliver, but the smart point really is like all fires that were caused this year that were preventable is over. I think it's 1 or 2, and that's more than 0, so it's a problem. When it's like, well, you could just do what we used to do back in the day, which was just tell people whether you're having a boy or a girl. You go, yeah, we're having a boy.
Yeah. When did these fucking things start? When did you first notice the insidious creep that
you know what? It's funny because people will sit there and go, oh, it's been a long time. You know, I'm sure there's people doing it back in the fucking 90s and shit. But the popularization of it, going viral online, I would say it's probably been a couple of years. Like, it hasn't been that long.
It's hard to pinpoint.
Well, because, you know, it went through phases. You know, there'd be a dude and someone throws you this T-ball looking thing and you smash it. And if blue dust comes out, there's a boy. And if pink dust comes out, it's a girl. Or they get the cake and you cut into the cake. And if it's pink, then it's a girl. And if it's blue, it's a boy.
That's pretty fucking harmless. I mean, like, it may not be for you or me.
Well, that was fireworks and...
It's pretty harmless. Like, friends of the pod, Derek and Nikki, I'm pretty sure they had like a board with a balloon on it, and
you throw the dart at the board, and got
I think they had
confetti
Molly shoot it with a BB gun, and it splattered like pink powder or some shit.
Sure, old friend of the pods.
Yeah, friends of the pods.
Yep. Some OGs there.
So like, they wanted to do it, and they did it in a way that didn't burn the fucking surrounding area down.
That's great. I don't like. If you want to make it this big thing, that's fine. I don't understand it because I've never had a kid. Maybe the day I'm like, oh boy, I get to find out. Like, I'll be super excited to have that boy or really disappointed.
Feminist Rory, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just looking for that first hate email. I want it so bad.
No, that's because you're so much of a feminist that honestly you wouldn't want to have a girl child because you know you would fuck her up.
I'd be happy.
You're a man and men are pigs.
I'd be happy with having someone love me enough where they were like, I want to have a child with you.
I've taken your seed and I'm not going to abort this.
But luckily by 2030, I'll just be able to send it in to a mailing to like a company and they'll just send me back a baby.
Would you do that?
No.
Really?
No, I have a hard time, and this is going to go into a weird place because, you know, we have friends who listen and we know some of our listeners have kids and it's like, I just don't know if I would have kids. I don't know if I would ever have them. A lot of it comes down to like what I'm saying, or I'm like, yeah, you know, Junior, if you can disrupt global hegemony, fucking, you might stand a chance and have some oxygen to breathe when you're my age. screw your hair up.
Fuck you, Dad. I'm going to go listen to Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no. Whatever, queer. And he runs off.
You're no Jordan Peterson.
Throws a football with his other surprisingly muscular young friends. And he's like, can't you just sing a libretto? I did theater. We're beating up the theater kid later, Dad.
It's just me. My face hasn't aged at all from this point. So I'm just like, oh, I'm a teenager too.
What are you doing in your room? Go away. Are you? Is that chaw? Do you have a dip in your mouth? Can't you just smoke pot like a normal kid and have a beer?
We do that too.
Yeah. Where did I go wrong? It's because you cry in front of me, Dad.
I have weak masculine role models.
No, I just, you know, really though, it's like I get worried about the way the world is going. I'm a doom and gloom guy. I'm not a super. I'm a straight up cynic when it comes to the future of humanity.
Well, it's hard not to be.
And it's not the kind of thing where it's like, well, man, you never know. You could give birth to the next Einstein that solves something great, and he's this great thing. And I go, yeah, or I could give birth to Joe Dirt or Hitler. It could be fucking.
Statistically, you're just gonna make a normal human, and I think that
you guys don't know me. I could raise a serial killer. I just put everything on him, being like, that's what it's like, because you don't have a mommy. I just abuse him. And
you just do like the teaching bed in Venture Brothers, and you just put the headphones on and make him listen to this podcast.
Yeah. He's straight Ed Kemper, the kid.
He's perfect. Yep. He's completely dysfunctional. We've done it.
Yeah, great. No, but so I don't know. There's a lot of living Rory's got to do before first I'd like to, meet somebody.
Well, do you think anyone would ever change your mind, or are you like pretty dead set?
Again, I had a girlfriend a while back who broke.
I don't believe you.
She broke up with me. Fuck you. She broke up with me because I wouldn't commit to having children with her. She wanted me to go, yes, I want to have your children. And she, I could tell, she was wrangling, she wanted to date for a year and get that proposal and move on. And I would be married and I would have children right now if I had gone along with it, 100%, more than one. And I said to her, which is probably what ended the relationship, where I was like, that's the kind of discussion I really need to have with somebody that I know I love. I got to really be in love and decide what is, what works with that person, And if it's the kind of thing that's important to me and I'm settled and I think financially I can handle that, then those are all questions that are a no right now. So that's why I say no to having kids. Mm-hmm. Am I settled down? No. Do I plan on moving in the next couple of years? Yeah. There's a chance I always just end up staying in Vermont. I meet the right girl and fucking, but I don't think it'll happen. Because again, I'm a cynic. So it's the kind of thing where, again, there's definitely a world where that might happen, but I'm not financially stable. I don't have a job right now. I'm not settled in a place. So how can I make that decision?
Any single ladies?
Yeah, you're just waiting. You're just waiting.
No, as soon as you're like, I have no job. Hello, I'm George Costanza. Hello? It's like, Rory, no, pull up, buddy.
No, it's fine.
Pull up.
Yeah, I don't say any of those things to be disparaging of myself, too. No. The world kind of fell apart for me, so I don't really care. Anymore.
Oh, yeah, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, I just don't give a fuck right now. I'm waiting to see the COVID thing settle. When there's other states right now being like, guess how many new cases were reported today? If you guessed under 1,000, why don't you take another guess at it? And I'm just like, well, I can get some of these things together. I'm kind of more thankful I don't have a settled thing going on right now, because I'd be really scared about how I was going to keep those kids afloat without my sweet New York job that paid me literally hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars a year.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's how
about you, asshole? How do you feel about it?
How I feel about children? They can get into tiny spaces. Yeah. They're perfect. I would like to have children just to have an army of child assassins, I think.
You living on a train, Snowpiercer? Is that what you're...
Honestly, we probably would live on a train, yes.
Except they would go back in time. It's Back to the Future 3.
No, this is in the complete real world. This is all realistic.
Living on a train.
I get it's the comedy podcast.
In the real world.
This is a realistic thing. We live in a boxcar. We don't live on a train. We live on a network of trains.
Hobos.
There are 7 kids, because I like that hobo has a stigma attached to it. I don't want my children growing up thinking they're hobos. I prefer us to see ourselves
wandering
as
vagabond.
Drifters, yeah. There's something genteel about drifter.
Is a vagabond someone who wanders? Is wandering vagabond redundant? Tell us. It's skimboLounge@gmail.com.
I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of dope to live on a bunch, to always be living on trains with your little kids. And, they're like, who's our mom? Where's our mom from? And I'm like, well, trick question. You all have different moms.
Cooking raccoon meat for dinner. And Under the Light by Banjo.
Yeah. And I just feel like we kind of go city to city and we grift.
Ellie, you're going to learn to play the jug. You got 7 kids, so you can get a bunch of different sounds.
You have to play the jug because you're the fat one. But that's okay. So is your papa. Dad, how come we live in a train and we barely have enough food, but you have body dysmorphia and still think you're fat?
Good question.
It's an excellent question, Ellie. I'm a very mentally ill individual, but I love you all very much.
Dad, please eat something. Your skin and bones.
I ate that cat last week. I'm going to be fine.
Seizures.
Careful. Paw.
Oh, that's lucky. Someone...
Save that for later.
We're going to sell that to a tourist in the inner city. Suckers.
That's the only way I would have kids. Yeah, if I knew
Just go in and you grift from people in the city and they steal from their pockets. You basically bring gypsy culture to an inner city somewhere in
I'd make a pretty damn good gypsy. I think gypsy is an offensive term.
Is it really?
I think so. I think they prefer to be called travelers.
I don't even know anymore.
I think it's travelers, yeah. I don't know if that's offensive. I don't know if Romani is offensive or if it's
Wanderers.
Regional. Yeah, I just know the boxer Tyson Fury is called an Irish traveler. But I don't know if people have been like, dirty Irish traveler. Or if they're like, he's an Irish traveler. I don't know. I'm not woke enough.
The times they are a-changing. That one blew my mind.
When you can't call a drifter a gypsy no more, for the times they are a-changing.
It's great. That's good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That seems like, I imagine this is happening in the rural South. Like, and you find your way to a big city, like, we're going to make it. And then the next shot is you hitting a pan in a subway while your kids pickpocket.
Yeah, honestly. Well, they've all got different things. One of them, like you said, is very musically talented, so we'll like put her on the
Dad's
skateboard.
Really bringing him down. He can't even hit that pan well. Pink, pink, pink.
I want at least one kid that pretends to be legless and drags himself around on a skateboard.
Oh.
I'd also prefer if they were all little girls. I think I'd be a shitty father to boys. I think I'd give them like no value in life, but girls I'd be like, I respect women way more than men, so I'm going to put a lot of effort into raising you. You're really lucky you didn't turn out to be boys. And you're really lucky you weren't born in China either.
7 girls.
Yeah, right?
So basically you're just going around the country where first you think you're sleeping with these women and having their children when really you're just abducting small girls from their homes.
No. They need to be biologically mine.
Well, you got that. You got the body dysmorphia thing going on. What else is going on up there? And you're just like, she's mine. I'm telling you, babies from their cribs. And then you get the younger ones to raise the other one. Again, this whole time you're in sort of like a dissociative state, so you don't even realize any of this is happening. You think you're playing jug bands.
Do you think I'm in a dissociative state right now?
No. But I think this is when this happens. I see, girlie, I'm not even here. You're just sitting in a room. There's no equipment here. You're just, that was funny, Rory. Yeah.
I'm just doing ayahuasca in a barn somewhere.
Yeah. And you just wake up. You're like, I just hallucinated. I think it must have been like 30 years of my life. Like, Tim, calm down.
85 episodes worth of a podcast. And it was so fucking bad, you guys.
You were just you're CEO of some Venture 500 company. Venture Capitalist Group, and they helicoptered you out there.
Dude, I would have been a sweet douchebag in another life. When you think about it.
Born in the 80s.
If I had been like an 80s Reagan voting douchebag, dude.
Put options on Einhold Biotech. We're going to fuck that guy.
Big time cokehead.
Yeah. Just, Wolf of Wall Street shit.
Yeah, honestly. But just not even that smart. I'd be so much dumber.
Well, that was the guy who started Action Park, was one of those kind of people who
I watched that finally.
Duped investors and then took the money and formed Action Park.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up story, actually.
Yeah, when you think about the number, it's the kind of thing like, they just let kids go, and then every now and then someone would die. And you're like, that's a fucking theme park.
Well, let him...
It's not warfare.
They let a fucking, failed Wall Street investor design the rides.
And then he had the wiles to... set up his own insurance company to insure the park.
It was run by teenagers who just spent the summer fucking each
around.
Other and doing drugs.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Watching kids crack their fucking skull opens because they went too hard on some of these rides.
We got to skim another blue kid out of the communal pond.
When they told me that they had actual like motorboats with actual motors that were in snake infested waters. And then there was the kayak simulator that had real running electric motor fans underneath the water. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's what killed one of the women. She touched it underwater.
It killed 2 people.
Oh, did it kill 2 people?
Yeah, it killed someone later on too after that. The first person died from it because they tipped their kayak, were in the water, and one of them touched one of these fans. All you got to do is just snap and just took their fucking life from them.
Yikes.
Well, you got to imagine that when that kind of stuff happens, there's a chance you could be resuscitated. But that's not happening at Action Park.
Not at Action Park, unless you are dating a fucking EMT.
Yeah, which I got a feeling a lot of the people there were like, if you were like, let's go, honey. I think we can afford to go to a real water park if we really want to go have fun and not maybe die. They're the first thing they were like, we're going to make this loop-de-loop. So it'll be a water slide loop-de-loop. And they threw mannequins down it, and they kept coming out disemboweled on the other end.
And then when people went through it, they came out missing teeth that they later found inside the tube.
Yeah, they came up the loop, and they'd come down that side, and the momentum would just smack them into this one fucking side. They found teeth embedded on the inside of the fucking thing.
I just love that they were like, if you were too big, you'd get stuck in the tube. If you're too small, you couldn't get up the momentum to get over the loop. So we had to install... I'm like... Yeah. What was their fail-safe for this? And they're like, don't worry, we installed a hole so we could extract people.
Yeah. And they were like, if you were just right, you got jacked the fuck up by it. Because you'd go through the loop and you wouldn't really know what your orientation was because you're in a tube and then all of a sudden you just smack your fucking head on the thing.
Complete darkness, and then you just get fucked up and shot into the water.
Yeah, just bleeding, confused.
I love, too, the one that they did. It was like the Colorado Rapids, the whitewater rafting simulator. It was just designed where you hit this one part, and it just fucks you up.
Yeah.
Someone gets tipped out of the fucking thing and smashes their face.
Yeah. I just don't understand.
It sounds amazing.
Well, it's the kind of thing where I sit there and go, I wish my childhood had been some mix of responsible parenthood and that. Because I had the kind of parents who were like, okay, you're old enough now where you can, if you can go to the store and back in 10 minutes, that's literally right around the block, then I don't have to come with you and I won't call the police, like when you're gone. I was like, you should buy us a fucking phone. I guess I was too young for that. I mean, nobody had cell phones, but it was just, it was weird. And I get why they did it now, because I think about all the sick perverts that'd be like, there's a little boy walking by himself, just pick me up and drive off, and I'd never be seen fucking again. Like, it just would have happened. It was.
You be getting that tight little man pussy turned out.
Well, it almost happened to my cousin once, legit, where, remember a field by our house you can sled in? It's a cemetery. It's got a hill, and you can sled by it. And when we were younger, my cousin was there sledding, and some guy said that he needed help, like in his car, like he needed help with something. And my cousin was, for whatever reason, just like not even thinking about it. I was like, I'm just going to go get my dad to help you, or my mom. And he went and got her and brought her back. And when the guy saw that he was with his mom, he jumped into the fucking car and drove off.
Jesus.
Because he was planning on picking him up and driving the fuck away. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And again, my mom, being who she is, used this to fuel paranoia for my entire childhood. But I don't even know if it actually happened. But
there's a part of the Skimbo Lounge lore for you guys. Now you understand a little more about us.
Now you get where my neurotic nature comes from. Because everyone's out to get you. They might slip me a Mickey, because wouldn't you love having sex with my butt? So
I think there are some people who would, Rory.
Call me.
They're out there. They're out there listening to the show.
Hey, I'm an adult now. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I'm a man.
I'm a big boy. You can have sex with a big boy.
I think we just went off on a nice. That was that. That's
it's interesting you say that, because my family, when my grandma died a couple years ago, and they were writing her obituary, they for some reason thought it was cool to include the fact that she met Albert Fish. Now, if you don't know who Albert Fish was,
he's a serial murderer?
The cannibal murderer serial killer, yeah. Who lured people, specifically little girls, to this derelict home and tortured and killed them and ate them.
Yeah. Isn't that cheery?
She apparently met Albert Fish when she was a little girl.
Yeah.
And survived that encounter. I'm inclined to think that's bullshit. I think
how did she not get murdered and eaten?
And I'm like, can we find out how she got out of this? Apparently she just yelled, which I think is obnoxious for her. Grandma was from the Bronx, and you can't listen to her for more than 5 minutes. So he was like, nope, I'm going to pass on this. Thank you.
Too much risk.
Tandem meat is not worth it.
Jeez. Such a crazy thing to think about, man.
I'm not sure that happened. They touted it and they put it in the obituary, and I'm like, that is such a weird brag. That is such a strange flex.
Well, the one crazy things my parents ever talked about, I can't remember who it was. It was that or one of my uncles, where because everyone used to hitchhike when they were younger, back in the 70s and fucking 80s and shit. Like when you were younger and you needed to get down the road, you just put your thumb up, and some dude with a bed, truck bed, would be like, yeah, just get in the fucking back and drag
get in the back with the chickens.
Yeah.
My large
You'd hop
dog.
in, they drag you down the road, and apparently one time, the dude just kept driving. They had to jump out of the fucking car because he was taking him somewhere. Presumably, I like to think that the dude just fucking forgot that he's like, yeah, I'll pick you up, what fucking ever. He just had, maybe he was drunk. Lord, there's a number of things. Different time.
Maybe he was taking them to the house where they filmed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. It's a long trip. Because that's in Texas. But
still stay.
Hey, I don't know if he missed the turnoff. It's been about 1,500 miles.
Hooey!
It's all right. Let's just sit in here for another 500 miles.
I've always wanted to see San Antone. Meat cleaver whack.
Yep.
I just think that's such a weird thing to brag about. Like, my grandma almost got
serial
eaten
murder
by a serial cannibal.
Yeah.
What about yours?
It's a crazy story if it's like you got away, but even then I'd be like, I don't want to make you relive that. That would fuck me up for the rest of my life. If I was like, I met fucking Ed Kemper out there, and I know he didn't kill fucking dudes like me, But
not big boys.
Yeah. Let's say the equivalent of the person who was like, I kill string bean white dudes, and I met that person.
Let's say Otis Toole and Henry Lee Lucas. I think they killed men.
Yeah. See, there we go. So I met the two of them. They were hanging out at a malt shop, and I walked in. They're like, hey, do you want to come back to my place for pool? And I've got a ping pong table. Like, ping pong? I love ping pong. And I get halfway there, and I just won't shut the fuck up, and they just kick me out of the car. I wouldn't brag to people about that. I don't think. Man, I am unmurderable. I don't think that's what
I'm
that
so
meant.
obnoxious people wouldn't even take the time to kill me.
Yeah.
You know who Otis Toole and Henry Lee Lucas did kill?
No.
Adam Walsh.
Ooh.
And you know who he was? He was the son of that guy that did America's Most Wanted.
Oh.
Guy's like, have you got any information about where the Skimbo Lounge killer is?
Wait, that was his father that did that, or his son?
That was Adam Walsh's father. Adam Walsh was like 6 years old, and these two dudes abducted him and decapitated him, and they didn't find him for a long time. I don't know why I brought this up.
Yeah, I know. You're really bringing me down,
This is bad. This is a bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'd like to think you're bringing down the listeners as well.
And then he just was like Crime Stoppers, and that's what I'll do with my life.
Hey, man, I would as well. Also, another reason I don't have kids, so they won't get serial murdered. Now I'll just get serial murdered.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Throw him in
Everyone's like,
the
whatever.
dumpster.
I'm dead. Who cares? Oil me up with gravy. Do whatever you
Fill
want.
me up with cream.
Yeah, fill me up with cream. That's what it is. Fill me up with cream.
Yeah.
I know what happens when I want to die. I want to be filled up with cream. And everyone can have a bite.
Honestly, I just want, like I said, an attractive serial killer lady to murder me. But I also hope that they never find me. I'm just missing. You know what I mean? So everyone can kind of project what they think happened to me.
I'd like to think.
Am I on tour with the dead?
He made it somewhere out in Spain. He's got himself a nice villa, and it's just a shallow grave. There's some dog gnawing at a bone underneath, and it's just a little bit of your jean pants and a bone. He's just sitting there pulling at you.
She made a lava lamp out of my skull,
and I just sit there, go, yeah, Seville. He's probably in Seville.
Good for you, buddy. The dog just chokes on my pinky toe.
I mean, of everything, I'd be like, if he fucking did some sort of random murder suicide, I feel like he'd be the first person to talk to me about it. So I feel like something happened to him, and I'd become like girl with a dragon tattoo, and I'd be trying to find you.
Lisbeth Salander.
Yeah. I just go around freaking out, having weird, disconnected, dissociative states. I think I found him over here, and just it's me digging up corpses, pretty much at that point. Sweet. It's a real dark decline at that point. So yeah, that sounds great for both of us, I guess.
Yeah.
I end up getting, committed to an insane asylum, obviously, where I refer to everybody as Koch. And I think I'm doing the whole, like, I've got a spoon in my hand, like, today's guest is Jerry Lee Lewis. Does everyone remember who Jerry Lee Lewis is? Haha, that's funny, Koch. I didn't say anything. My name is Anthony. That's a good one, Koch. And if he doesn't go along with it, I get violently angry.
One of the inmates is just Sinbad. He's like, I know. They did this in an episode of Always Sunny. It was Sinbad and I think Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
Were the two people. Well, guess what?
I'm really here.
People referencing it all the time drove us actually insane, and now we're here.
That's funny, Koch. That's really funny of you to say so.
God damn it. I am fucking Sinbad.
Like, he used to have a fork for a mic until he stabbed Koch with it. Yeah.
That's pleasant.
Isn't that? So everyone has that to look forward to. Look me up in the papers.
Well, I'll tell you what they also have to look forward to, Rory.
What?
We're going back to Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's true. We are going back to Wednesdays. Friday was exciting for a little while. It worked for the schedule for a little bit, but
yeah, it was fine for what it was. Mm-hmm. These Friday releases,
sure,
they were fine. We just kind of unannounced started doing it. I don't know.
We're just again stick and move.
But I'm a professional podcaster now, Rory. I got to think about both my babies at this point.
Fuck you.
Can't be doing these Friday, Monday releases.
I'm
too close.
Favorite. I'm the favorite. Fuck you, Jeff. I know you're listening out there, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but Jeff's so pretty.
Listen, I'm not going to go out on that line, but fuck both you pricks.
Well, I don't know. Maybe our audience should listen to Out on That Line and decide which one that they like better. Direct competition. I win no matter what. Yeah. I'm going to make $40,000 on Patreon, and I'm going to be gorgeous.
I'm going to take that other $20,000 and go, I'm set for life, and I'm going to run.
Why do you think you're entitled to half my plastic surgery money?
Because I'm half the show.
I made the Patreon specifically to get the fucking cheek implant.
Those people out there know that they are also funding my running away to, I assume, where can $20,000 go pretty far?
They're funding terrorism
Thailand,
if they
probably?
give you any money.
I think I'm going to Thailand. I'll hate the food. It will make me shit every day. But $20,000 in Thailand, I bet I can live for years.
Why don't you go to Chechnya?
Because they'll kill me in Chechnya.
Well, there you go.
I don't have any guns.
So go to Chechnya.
I need guns. I would need at least another $10,000 to buy some sweet-ass guns.
Go to Belize. You'll be like the mayor.
I would buy the gun of Rambo.
Okay. Well, I support you in that.
One of the two. Let us know. Where should I move? Chechnya?
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Or Thailand? Bolivia?
We're not even at that point yet because we haven't even gone back to Wednesdays yet.
Well, we're gonna.
But we're going back to Wednesdays. And this next episode that's coming out after this one will be a Wednesday episode. But I think after that, we're going to do that thing we talked about where we do a 10-minute podcast every day for 5 days. So you get like the week of pod.
Yeah.
We just do a little bite size. And I don't know if you guys, how we should structure it, honestly. We've talked about doing it a couple ways. Cool. Are we going to do one big thing and chop it into pieces? Are we going to do it based on one topic? Are we going to set a timer? Like, how are we going to do this?
I mean, I like the idea of it being freeform and just smaller things. Like, once we hit 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 20, we go, okay, that's it. Just these nice little bite size.
I think as soon as we get to 10 minutes, no matter what, we got to fucking
kill it.
You
want to just kill it right there?
Just set a timer, and when it goes off, the episode is done. No outro, no nothing.
Well, that's it, guys. Yeah. Well, here's what I think. They might want it all as one big thing then, where each episode segues into the next one. You got to wait until the next day to find out what we really had to say about Kurt Russell.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like how...
He's a... Yeah. Like wonderful man.
How structured should this be? Should it just be new random dives in? Should it be about a particular thing?
Should we do something absolutely chaotic and have every single one of them be different in any way? Like what? Let us know. We would love to hear from you guys to see if you guys are interested. If there's anything you guys go, 10 minutes would be perfect amount of time for you guys to cover this. Tell us what it is, and we will 100% do it. I do not care what it is. As long as I'm like, well, what's the deal with my dog's anal gland? Even then, we might actually talk about it for 10 minutes.
It's like, well, we don't know. You need to send pictures or a video.
Exactly. If you're going to give us a topic, it better be the kind of thing that we can really, or expect to get inundated by responses from us asking all kinds of questions back.
Hell, mail us a little vial of the little guy's sputum. Like, we need something to work with.
Send that shit to the lab. Hold on. Let's give it the taste test. Oh, yeah, that dog is sick.
Pussy juice.
Oh, my God.
That's such a great Dave Chappelle bit. I won't redo it, but go watch Dave Chappelle's stand-up on Netflix.
Yeah, he's funny.
Pussy juice.
Anyways. Yeah, great.
That's the name of the episode.
Please,
Pussy
no.
juice.
Let's not.
Yep, that's it.
Just because it came to you right there.
Good old feminist Rory, starring in Pussy Juice.
That's great. That's super. But, let us know. Let us know what you guys think of that format, because it's going to happen probably regardless whether you like it or not, so...
It's happening one way or another.
Yeah,
if you leave it up to us, it will be what it will be.
But fuck with the format. In any way you guys see fit, let us know. If there's anything weird you want us to talk about, like I said, we'll think about it.
And if we think of something better, we're going to do that.
Yeah. It's going to be great, though.
So there you go. Don't blow it. You Hamiltonians, do not throw away your shot. Bitch. Well, okay. Well, that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? You got anything you want to plug?
I mean... No, I don't.
Well, I will be appearing at Zany's September 13th through the 18th. Mm-hmm. You can get tickets on skimbolounge.com. Use the promo code MOIST
I was gonna say.
to get a discount. I will be doing a socially distanced meet and greet afterwards.
Which is you stay 10 feet from me and I yell things at you.
Yeah, I'm in like a truck bed, like a pickup truck, and I'm just spraying diarrhea. And you can... catch it in a Gatorade bottle if that's what floats your boat. I'll Gallagher you. You can wear a poncho.
And I had thought that this was a comedy show, and then you just went.
No.
Yeah.
Everything on this show should be taken seriously at all times, and I believe we have told you that, including recently.
Many times.
This is a very serious news program. So until next time, thank you. Go fuck yourselves. And goodbye.